Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Maureen or Momo or Momokeen or whatever you want to call me. And today I'm going to be swapping out the keycaps in my freewrite alpha lunar limited edition thingy finally. I've been procrastinating on this just because I know it's tedious, but because it's lunar, I found these Sailor Moon keycaps that I thought would be really cute. For those of you who have seen my stuff before, I did this with the Kickstarter version of the alpha. This is the one that does not light up, and I swapped the keycaps in that. As you can see, these are custom shape keys, so they cannot be swapped out. I saw someone was able to actually do the shift keys. It's not that they're custom shapes, but the pins on the bottom of the freewrite alpha keys aren't lined up properly to a standard set of cherry keys. So they had to stay on here, which is kind of unfortunate. But the nice part about getting a full set of keys is that it comes with a lot of extras that you can use in place of some of these other buttons. This is, I think, a tab or something like that. It's the enter button, but the enter button that comes with this is very big somewhere. So this is an enter button, and this is an enter button. And unfortunately, the bad part is that you won't be able to use the really cute keys because they don't fit. I also wanted to try this fun little experiment where I was going to swap these gray keys and put them on the black unit, and then put the white keys from this one on this just to see how it looks. Which is why, again, I took so long trying to film this video, because just the idea of swapping so many keys, no me gusta. I don't like it. It takes a long time. But here we go. For tools, as you can see, this set actually came with a wire key puller. I have this really cute one. It's a wire key puller like so. It's got two little thingies that you put around your thing. Sometimes your keycap kit will come with this kind of key puller. I don't recommend this because I've actually scuffed up multiple keys where that won't come off. So I don't recommend these. I do recommend these, and I do recommend that you pull at a diagonal from the corners. Just make sure you're not pulling the switch that's underneath, and see that just pops up. And on the bottom, you can see there's the little plus sign, and there is the switch plus sign. Got brown switches. I'm just gonna start pulling these off. And I've been using both of these for NaNoWriMo. I also do recommend keeping these in some sort of order. So I have enough keyboards in this house where I can just look to see what I'm doing, but we're gonna put this here. First, we are going to trade keys, and then we are going to put the keys back. I've been doing the rough draft challenge this month, which is kind of like NaNoWriMo, only it's more like Camp NaNoWriMo, where you can like choose your own adventure. And so I decided that I'm going to aim for, I've been writer's blocked for a long time, so I'm just aiming to do 500 words a day. And the tier that I chose on the rough draft challenge website is 10,000 words, and obviously that's less than what you would get if you were doing the 500 words a day, correct? Unless I'm mathing incorrectly. Because I think you have to do like 334 words per day, according to the website, unless I just wrote enough to get by, I don't know. But I've used this one, and I've used this one as well. And I am missing I guess that's a cherry profile key with the slight taper on the sides. There's more of a separation between the keys with your fingers. Look at how little this backspace is. It's so little. So I think I had to use one of the slash keys here. I'm even gonna try to do the key thingamajigs, what's it called? The space bar. If you are new to my channel, I am so sorry for the brain, but I'm actually gonna just shut up and do this, and then I will show you what it looks like with the white keys, because we're gonna do the white keys first. I will show you taking off the space bar. Perhaps I will save that for last, and then we'll swap. Okay, bye. Okay, so just checking in for a sec, but this is under the space bar, as you can see. It's got the little stabilizers here, and it's a weird size and shape. It dips down. Okay, so that's what it looks like without any keys on. It's all naked and stuff. This is the box that came with the red keys, and I actually put all of the original white keys in these little trays. So I will put them all back on here. We'll have an all white unit, so. All right, so now I'm gonna take the white keys from here. Okay, so that is one combination. I think I will also show you what it looks like with the gray. Since the black unit has the accent power button, it could look interesting with the red there. Though it is cool tone gray, so it doesn't necessarily go the best, but I'm just curious, I'm messing around. So this is what it would look like with the gray to match the speckle, but I'm just gonna swap back to the red just for the experiment's sake. Oopsie, I put it on upside down. All right, so that's one. Number two, I'm going to pull off all these keycaps and then, do the same thing. I feel like the wire gets a little stuck on the switches on this one a little easier, but I could be imagining that because, I don't know. So I'm actually having some success with this key puller on the cherry profile keys, and perhaps you still see a little mark, so it fares better with the tapered edges, I think, in my own humble opinion, though it still scratches a little bit. So maybe that's not the best. And it's especially hard to get along the edges. All right, so now we are gonna put on the gray keys for this guy. I just really like how well these, pop back on, just saying. I do kind of wonder if the original freewrite keycap set that's black, that's on the website, would fit the alpha or not, and especially with like the base bar. I don't really know. I don't have like the original freewrite typewriter, and I think the keycap set is $60 or something, or it was quite a lot. I got the red set over there for maybe 30 bucks. And I got, on my regular keyboard for my computer, I found a pudding keycap set, which means the top is opaque and then the bottom is translucent. So if you have a keyboard that has LEDs in it, that's really nice. So you could see the lights, and especially if it's rainbow. Anyway, oh no! Oh crap. I put this on wrong. Didn't I? Now I don't know. I didn't want to have to bring this out. Looking at my silly little iPad, and no, I did the other one wrong, so that's fine. It's not like I'm typing anything. Okay, so that is what the black unit looks like with all gray keys. This is them together. So like now I'm gonna just grab these red keys and trade these again. And this is what that looks like. So now I'm not sure if the new is supposed to be aligned on the outside or the inside. So we'll figure that out. So that's what they look like. Can we do that? Can we see both of them at the same time? We can. How nice. Yeah, pretty cool. So I'm just gonna take some photos because I would like to share them on Reddit, I think, just for people who are wondering, because I'm intending to sell the black one, and so I will not be able to do this experiment ever again. So All right, so now that we have concluded that part of the little experiment, now I'm just going to pull these off and put the Sailor Moon keys on. So when I sell this, I think I'm going to leave the keycaps on, the swapped keycaps on, unless the person who wants to buy it wants the original keys on. Obviously both will be included in the auction or whatever, but kind of stinks though that the gray base bar doesn't go with my Sailor Moon stuff, but that's the way it is. As you can see though, the body, the speckled white, is not quite pure white, so it's not an exact match. It's a little bit creamier than the stark white keys. So because my keys are also going to be white and they have pink text, it's once again not going to be an exact match. So I'm not sure that I'm going to love my keycaps or not, but this is the thing that we chose, right? So we are going to live with it. And then I have this for the black unit, or I'm gonna need it for this unit too, just to remember what the bottom line keys are, the order of them. Look at this space bar, isn't that adorable? I'm so sad that I don't get to actually use that on my unit. Why couldn't they just make it standard keycap size? Why couldn't they just do that? Even if you used a 60% kit or something like that, I think those have the option for a shorter space bar. I could be wrong. Or what's it called? A space bar that's segmented. Some kits have that I've seen. I don't know. Some of these keys with the stabilizers are hard to get off. I suppose it's good in one way because then they don't just randomly fall off on you. Give me. That is one shift key that we have to keep on the unit, and not this unit, but the black unit when I put all the keys back on. Because I had the worst time trying to get this shift key on because it's the same size, but if you actually measure these pins, the alpha key pegs here are just like 1 millimeter further out than these ones here for the stabilizers. And I did get a comment on my other video saying that they did something to modify the pegs here, but I don't know exactly what they did, and I'm too scared to do it for myself, especially without pictures. I also don't know if a standard kit like this would fit on the regular freewrite, because I think this particular kit would look so good on the Valentine edition of the freewrite. It's the red one. I think it has black keys normally, but I think this particular set would look so good on it. So we've got our standard keys here. So I'm just gonna start plugging these in. Imagine if they didn't fit. They fit. Okay, that would, because I've been sitting on these for a long time. Like I said, I've been kind of procrastinating doing this video, so I was really afraid that they just were not gonna fit, but they do. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Okay, so one of the things I'm trying to remember, I think this is gonna be the key for backspace, because this is backspace and that's gigantic. So because usually these sets have a second backslash key somewhere, but this set might not, so we're gonna just see how it goes. Tab fits fine, caps lock fits fine. Look, it's little Usagi. I really wish this, look at that, that would be so cute. But we also have some of these that you can substitute in, so that's nice. I like that. I feel like some of the other kits that I've gotten before had more alternative keys. So for this one, I did have an extra backslash, so that's what that is gonna be. I don't see an extra one, so we're just gonna move along and then figure out what has to be substituted in. Also, this is not a licensed set of keycaps or anything from Sailor Moon, unfortunately. So keep that in mind if you don't want to do something like that. I do wish I could actually steal the white keys for this, but I'm not going to. That would be silly because then I couldn't sell the other one. This is the enter button, but we cannot use it. This is a shift button, but of course we can't use it. So we can use it for the enter, but of course it, it says shift, but I don't have any other keys that are this size. So that stinks, but this is a secondary shift button. And I think I'm going to be very angry because there's no extra backslash, so that's annoying. I'm gonna pry these thingies off here. So that's those thingies. I think I want this little usagi here because that's adorable and it fits. So it's a little tall, like this one dips down because it's not supposed to be in this upper line that's the tallest, because it's like stadium seats, and so this one is also a little tall because it's supposed to go in the back row, but that's just the way it is. So I think, can we do page up, page down? Where is that? Also, those are different heights too, so that could be annoying, but otherwise it would be, so I'm looking at the layout that I picked for the last substitution, because that's going to annoy me, so I'm not going to do that. But I picked the 2 control buttons as page up, page down, and then so I've got control, and then are they the same? I think they're the same. So let me see. New, right? New was the 2 Windows buttons, but I think I might have new be Artemis and Luna. So those go over here, new, and then we've got page up, page down, and the send button has to be something that I'm going to remember. That is good. We do have a function button. What is that again? Special? Yeah, all right, so send. So page up, page down are gonna be the 2 controls because they are related, because page, right? So send, we are going to pick alt or function. What do you think? Because that's the only choice really that we have. We do alt, but I want to control the pages by doing a control. There we go. Oh, I need one of those. See, we have alt gr, so that's really annoying. So what should be my send? Look at that. If only this would fit, You just shave it down. Shave it down. All right, so I guess we're gonna keep alt next to alt, and then function is going to be special, and then alt is send. See, in the other one, it was this star, so it was something special that stood out. This does not stand out. But yeah, okay, that's basically the whole thing. Let's see if we wrecked it. No. We go new, ta-da. So one thing you want to always check is if you hold this down for 3 seconds, your little menu pops up inside your document. If your Wi-Fi says N/A, that means you're not connected to Wi-Fi, even though maybe you already set that up. Recently, so on the 1st of November when I started my writing challenge, I didn't test this out beforehand to make sure everything was running properly, and so I wrote 564 words, and I hit send to, have my little backup, and then the whole thing just didn't back up, and then I lost everything. So yeah, you want to just make sure that it's backed up properly. So yay, everything is falling. New caps. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions for me, let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Till next time.